That's like room temperature.
Welcome back. To Johnny Custom Glock's frontside press.
What was that?
Gotta love her.
She's got all new sound effects. We're at stuff.
Apparently.
First Tuesday of the month.
Thursday today.
We have the gun lawyers on, and we're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to see how calm I can stay. But that ain't going to happen. Because the first one is my good buddy Alec. So, anyways, like a chair, like a chair, like a chair. We're going to give away chances to win the backpack. We got a cool-ass case with foam in it. All right? So, I don't want to grab it. But,
You're covered, right?
yeah. So we're going to leave it. But it's a cool-ass case. All right, so everybody get their beverage of choice. Start liking and sharing, liking and sharing.
Done.
All right. Chances to win some cool stuff tonight. So, what? What are we looking at? What happened?
Oh, comments.
Oh,
Nothing.
comments.
I was looking
We got
at
comments.
Jeff's comment. That's
Oh, what's he
comment.
put?
He wrote comment.
There you go.
You said like, comment, and share.
Like, comment, and share. Well, I
There's
said
your
like and
comment.
share. Did I say comment? Mm-hmm. All right.
I don't know,
comment.
if you didn't,
Hey, it
I
doesn't
was
matter as
there.
long as you do something.
I've liked it and shared it
helped
multiple times.
Because
So
Facebook has been pounding on us, beating us silly. They are not a friend.
nobody else is on
of
right now.
friend
Anyway.
side press.
I'm the only one watching.
Not like you guys.
I can't
And
even get
hey,
up on my
let's hear it for the
phone.
live studio audience. Hey!
Hey!
Sean Hilton is watching.
That's where you people should be. Here. Your beverage of choice. All right. So, Cindy and Jeff tonight. Ladies first on that one. All right, we got some topics. First, we're going to thank our sponsors. So, our king sponsor, Johnny Custom Glocks. All right? Because life is too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks.
Does he make a trigger that you don't even have to pull to shoot people? Like,
Yeah.
is there a Johnny Glock trigger that is so good that you can just point the gun at someone and bam, off
Yeah,
the gun?
Alec Baldwin has one.
Is it called the Alec Baldwin Special?
Yeah.
What
Like
is
all you gotta
yours
do,
called?
like you don't press the trigger. What you say is, "How about I just shoot you first?" And then the gun goes off. It's like, "I got it from here."
Right.
But we'll get to that in a minute.
What is yours called?
What's that?
The Mad Dog.
Mad
trigger
Dog
or something?
McGowan trigger.
Right. Is there a Mad Dog Baldwin trigger that
There's an asshole.
you can just
Baldwin
look at
trigger.
people and boom, it goes off?
Yeah, but it's got to be in a prop gun.
That's true. He doesn't do Glock.
The Johnny no touch trigger.
I love it. I love it.
But we'll talk about my friend Alec in a minute. So, check out Johnny Custom Glocks. Right? You got to watch him on YouTube. Follow him, Instagram. All right, subscribe to him. Friend him on Facebook. Like, just get all the goodness you can get for your Glock. All right, because he's just putting out some amazing, amazing products, and I know he's got some really, really big things coming up in the future. That I've get insight. I can't tell you.
Like,
But anyways.
like getting a gig as a Hollywood gun
Like
supervisor or something.
Obviously,
I hear they
anybody
I
can
know,
get that gig.
I hear they need some qualified people out there
Yeah,
for that.
so
They might
know,
be up in their qualifications.
you're overqualified for them. All right. Pilgrim Ammunition. The best self-defense ammo on the planet. The most, all right, advanced ammo you can buy as a civilian. It is the most efficient ammo. It is the only thing I protect my family with, okay? So, like, if you're not using Pilgrim, obviously you don't care that much about your family compared to how much I care about my family. So maybe you don't like your family. I don't know. But if you do like your family and your friends and your friggin' self, you should probably get Pilgrim Ammunition because it is the best self-defense ammo on the planet that you can buy. All right? The Travis Mack Foundation. All right, we're going to start doing something for Travis Mack. We're going to get Blake in here, talk to him. All right? We need to send some money up to University of Maryland Children's Center and get these kids, especially around the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
All right, they need something good in their life. This foundation is just a great foundation. So go look them up. All right, if you give money away, charities and stuff like that, look up Travi Mac and see what they do. It's just an amazing program, and that's what you should be donating, for your charity, especially around the holidays. SRQLivestudio.com. Mars Vision Productions, this is where it's at. This is where it's happening.
Do we just get raptured up to the set?
The angels.
Oh, boy.
All right. This is where you should be doing your podcast. This is where you should do your commercials. This is where you should do everything. Your green screens, your photo shoots, like all the big people in the area. This is where it's happening.
Get over here!
Jesus.
Exactly. All right, so this is where you should be. So go check it out. If you got something coming up, you're doing something, this is where you should be. If you got a Halloween party, this is a place with props. Because what do we got, like a dozen
Look at all
skulls
the
over there?
Skulls
One, two,
with
three,
lights in them.
Rolled in the head?
7 skulls.
That's pretty awesome. All right.
Chains.
Military case surplus up in Largo. Tony hooking us up. We got the awesome Pelican, actual Pelican, I'm pretty sure that is, with the foam in it. All right, so we got a great case. So what's that?
December 9th, kegger.
December 9th?
Next week.
Here?
Party here.
Ooh.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Here.
Here.
Oh, we got to get on that.
We're getting a keg.
We got to get on that.
We're getting a keg.
We're getting a keg. We're having a kegger.
You don't need to be here for a keg
that
party.
Thursday
What are you,
night?
crazy?
Kegger. Thursday the 9th.
Ooh.
Here, next week.
1 week from
Here,
tonight.
Christmas party.
No, wait, today's Tuesday.
Nice.
No, it's Thursday.
Keep them straight. Hold on, I got to do this.
Where's your date?
All right. Skies and Chaos for letting us use the awesome Black Widow. You're not going to say it? You've given up?
That's.
Copyright.
All right.
I washed my hands of the entire thing.
There you go.
Just
Letting
start
us use that.
Calling me Hawkeye, and we'll all be just fine.
All right, maybe we can get,
Yeah, maybe get some
Blake
live
McCain
music,
and
get some.
Dustin over here.
Ooh,
So,
that'd be nice.
all right. All
You
right,
had a
so,
Christmas party last year, right? Or a thing out in the
2 years ago, I think.
parking lot or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
was it
we
last
were
year?
out- We were out
No,
there.
2 years
yeah.
ago was COVID. Y'all wouldn't have been breaking
You're right.
protocol
We were
like
out
that.
there last year, yeah.
I think it was last
Hold
year
on.
you guys did a little food truck or something, music out in the street.
You're right. Everybody's checking their phones, huh?
No, I'm sending a text.
Are we doing a show or what's happening here?
Just hold on a second. You can see if I can get the kids here.
Blakely? Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Must
He
have
might be
them
playing
here.
somewhere though. He plays like
He's
every
playing
night of the
all the
week.
time,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like every night of the week he's playing somewhere.
All right. So are we ready for the toast? Everybody got their beverage of choice?
Yep.
What are you drinking? A&W Zero. How is that?
Oh, I love it. I live on
I love
this stuff.
A&W. So. All right. Julie was tired of writing, so we got a short, sweet one here. He who keeps his tongue keeps his friends.
Yeah.
Amen.
Cheers.
Cheers. Where's our bartender intern?
He took the night off.
Okay.
All right. Flipping it over. All right. So, just what I thought. Alec Baldwin couldn't be more of a jackass asshole. His new defense is the gun shot by itself. He didn't shoot.
Yeah.
He didn't pull the trigger.
Oh, he didn't pull the trigger. Well, does it matter what he did? Like, here's the deal. I want you to be the prosecuting attorney on this case and tell me what you would say. Because I'm going to come to you and go, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I don't even know why we need to be here because he didn't pull the trigger. So what happened? The gun went off by itself. Is that the defense?
Very much.
Sounds like it.
And how are you gonna? What are you guys gonna do about that? What are you gonna do? What's your plan on that?
I would most likely call 50 expert witnesses that say that guns don't go off by themselves.
Okay. I mean,
I would have assumed that gun should be in evidence somewhere and it should be tested by somebody at the sheriff's department, and they would be an expert, and multiple other experts would come in and say no. And I suspect the defense would probably hire their own expert to say yes, it did, but I think you'd have to have an expert to say no, that didn't happen. You see, the sheriff actually already came out and made a statement that said basically,
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Right, because
He's like-
here's what it is.
he's
Just
like,
so you guys don't know, because
Alec Baldwin's actions led directly to the discharge of that firearm. Like, he didn't come around and say, they don't shoot themselves, but he said, basically, his actions resulted in the discharge of that firearm. So he's basically calling him a liar.
right. So this is what it is, right? They got a bunch of jackasses that think everybody's stupid because they're stupid. So they're like, all sitting around, saying, you know what we're going to say? We're going to say that the gun went off by itself, and everybody will believe him. Right? Until somebody goes, no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. So what I would do is I would take the gun, and I would cock it, and I'd just play it, put it there, and I would make everybody sit there until it shot by itself. And I would just go,
You could do that in your
I'm
closing
waiting.
argument as well.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting. You could be like the Rittenhouse prosecutor and point it directly at the jury and cock the trigger and let it sit there and see what happens.
Let's say, watch how it goes off by itself.
That's right. Look at this gun.
You guys know what it's like
gonna
to have
go
guns
off.
pointed at you.
Just wait.
You've been in bar fights.
Just wait. Good chance.
Oh.
Good chance. No, it's an odd look. The only caveat I'll say is I don't know anything about this firearm. So because it was being used in a movie, it's possible that it's not a real firearm that they brought to the set. It could be a replica designed by the studio or a prop department or something, and maybe they didn't put all the standard things that go into a gun that are supposed to go in the gun. I mean, I'm reaching here. It's possible that it is a replica gun that wasn't built by a manufacturer and may be built wrong or maybe missing parts. I'm not saying it doesn't mean he didn't pull the trigger, but is it possible that it doesn't have the same safety stuff that
All right, let me
a
ask
gun
you this.
by the shop would?
Let me ask you
it
this.
It could be, but you couldn't just put it there and leave it. Even if he wasn't pulling the trigger, he was holding it, smacking it, flipping it, like it still wouldn't just go off without him manipulating it somehow.
Let me ask you this. If I'm driving a car and I put it in park and jump out and it runs over you, is that no harm, no foul? Foul because I wasn't driving it.
But you just said you put it in
Yeah, if you
park.
put it in park, then it's a
It
it's
just
a
kept
def-
going.
but it's a
but
defect.
it didn't
That's
stop.
not you. That's a
It
defect
didn't
of the
stop,
car.
so I jumped out.
Oh.
That's a defect of the car. Well, yeah, because then you'd have a necessity.
Well, wait a minute. How about if I do this? How about if I aim the car at you, get going, and then go, how about if I run you over, and then I jump out of the car, and then the car runs you over? Is that not my fault because I was not driving the car when it ran you over? Because that's what just
I
happened.
don't know what you're talking about.
What if?
Isn't the bigger question why was there live ammunition on the set?
Yeah.
Well,
Listen,
that's a secondary
Like,
question. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with anything. Here's what happened. This friggin' jackass pointed a real gun with real ammo at somebody. He premised the whole thing by saying, how about I just shoot you instead? And then he shot her.
No,
and then-
no, the gun shot her.
But
Okay.
this was on a movie set, correct?
People don't kill
wasn't
people.
this filmed?
Guns kill people.
Aren't there like all different
like
angles of
cameras
Well,
film?
cameras
everywhere.
were rolling. It wasn't during this. It wasn't
Right,
during the
but
shooting.
wouldn't cameras be rolling?
Not unless they
No?
were filming a scene. No, my understanding is they weren't. They weren't filming. It wasn't a scene. They were like off practicing or
doing weird
prepping
They
or
had,
whatever.
Okay.
they had take the gun. The crew had the gun out in the desert shooting.
The day before or whatever. it was,
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go away from it's a prop.
And it wasn't.
Right.
Because nobody thought it was a prop.
And because they weren't inside, there wouldn't have been any surveillance cameras. I think they were outside on an outdoor movie set. So unless somebody was randomly filming it with a cell phone video,
or
it probably
something.
wasn't captured on video. But there were
guy-
witnesses around, and I don't remember anybody's statement saying, "Oh my God!" As soon as she got shot, he started screaming, "I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't do it. It was an accident. I don't know what happened." Instead, he
Right.
just like stood there basically. So
Yep.
I would think if I was holding a gun and it just went off, I'd be like, "Oh my God, it just went off." No, look, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's going to play out just like that.
Yeah.
There was more realism in the movie Dodgeball than in this
Right.
case.
Yeah, pretty much.
He murdered someone and shot somebody else with a real gun, with a real bullet that he pointed and said, how about I shoot you first?
No, he didn't
That's right. The
gun.
gun.
That's
See?
right. I'm sorry.
That's
They should try the gun.
Future defense attorney. Yep.
Right. This is why she's good.
So I don't know who. Well, this whole thing is weird because they did like, why is he doing an interview? If you're like, tell your client to shut up. I understand it's George Stephanopoulos, and the guy's not going to ask you any difficult questions. You want to get out ahead of it, but you just never know how those are going to go. And why even say just let it go?
It doesn't matter because it's Alec, and hey,
It's just stupid.
guns are bad. It's not him.
To me, it's just stupid.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Right, it's the evil gun.
Well, it's always the gun.
Right, you know what they should do?
People don't kill people,
If they had
guns
banned
kill people.
AR-15s, this wouldn't have happened.
Have you ever seen Hollywood movies?
What's that?
Have you-
Yeah.
The guns go off by themselves all the time.
time.
You ever
Yeah.
you remember that movie True Lies? The funniest one is in True Lies,
Yes,
where
where
Jamie
the
Lee
gun
Curtis
goes
drops a gun
first.
and is tumbling down the stairs, and
And
every
it
time it
shoots.
hits the stairs, you're shooting, and it kills like 9 terrorists. Yeah, guns don't work that way, but Hollywood believes guns work that way. So he probably has convinced himself in his brain that that damn
yeah.
thing just fired all by itself.
Right.
So there you go.
So,
Art imitating life, or life imitating art, I guess is the better phrase.
and then what's going to be is there's going to be a bunch of idiots on that side that follow him and are going to argue this point. That he didn't shoot. It went off by itself. Like, no, it doesn't. I had a lady say that to me in a lesson once. Well, I'm on the fence. I go, about what? I'm getting the gun. She goes, well, I don't want the gun to go off my underwear, draw by itself. I'm like, they don't. She goes, yes, they do all the time. I'm like, when was the last time your car started itself up and drove around the friggin' block? She goes, well, that's stupid. I'm like, so is what you're saying.
Now,
It's a mechanism. They don't shoot by
those
themselves.
automatic cars do. That one actor guy from Star Trek got run over by his car because it ran him over all by itself.
That's an AI-driven car.
What
Correct.
about
Right. Yeah. He parked it, got out, went to open his fence. The car drove forward and crushed and killed him in his fence.
Single-action revolvers are not AIs.
what about that cop? This was a couple years ago. The resource officer in the school that was allegedly just standing against a wall, and
No.
his gun just went off.
No, he wasn't. He bumped his holster, and the FN failed and fired.
Okay.
So he was doing something with that.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
Hit
He
it.
was doing something, but
Right.
when it first came out, he was just standing there, and the gun just went off.
Yeah. Went off because he was dicking around.
Well, was this a SIG revolver? Because then don't they just go off when you drop them?
Yeah, Yeah.
I just remember a couple years ago, everybody was talking about those new SIGs would just go off when you drop them on the ground. That's why the military cancel their
put 'em-
contract.
if you put 'em in a
So I'm wondering
trap,
if it was a revolver made by
force
SIG. I don't know.
Yeah, they fixed that by making the trigger heavier. There you go. We're done. Like the trigger's too light or something like that. We're done. What's that? They made it lighter. Yeah. So it wouldn't move it.
See, so they can sometimes go off by themselves when you drop them.
He didn't drop it. He pointed at it.
I'm just saying, you've opened
No.
up the door, sir.
No, the force of the gun hitting manipulated the action.
And it had to be dropped just a certain.
And none of them said, how about I shoot you first?
You don't know that.
You don't know. All right. So now we got the tragedy up in Michigan.
Ryan's
Right.
going to bed already? Hey, Julie. Good night, everyone. Well, thanks for tuning in, dude.
Coasty,
Who's that?
he goes to bed early. Our
Oh, yeah,
Coasty.
yeah. He's fighting friggin'
So he
crime.
he logged in, liked, commented,
friggin-
shared. He's like, I'm out.
He's like Aquaman. He's out on the high seas
Look, I'm not gonna lie.
fighting.
I've tuned in.
I know, next remind me to wear my I love my
liked,
Coasty
commented, shared, and then turned it off.
Like, see? You don't even watch the show.
Sean Hilton, did he have his medical marijuana card while he had the gun that shot by itself? I like
No,
that.
but I bet
That
you was
good.
high. So they want to charge him with terrorism.
Yes.
And
yes,
I said-
Who, Alec Baldwin?
They should. No, the guy up in
that
Michigan.
kid.
We are going to talk about what they're trying to charge him with. Because I said, it is terrorism, and you said,
No, it's not.
it's
I
not.
I don't think.
And
it
one
is.
of us is correct, and it's not me. But we're not going to mention any name, Cindy. So, as we talked about it, why isn't it terrorism?
Well, because Jeff had the perfect definition of terrorism.
He always does. That's one of the things I hate about him.
Come on.
Anyways,
You
what
have
is
the
it? What's
perfect
terrorism?
definition of terrorism.
By the way,
I know everything.
Our Coasty is back.
He's back.
Oh, he's back.
Hey,
Well, why is he
back.
going to
He's
bed then?
back. Here, or he's back on the show.
I don't know. He just said I'm back.
Why is he going to bed then? It's like freaking 8:30.
Gotta fight crime. Your world is safer because he's in it.
Not when he's sleeping.
You gotta rest up. Even Batman takes a nap.
Does he? Does he? I don't know. Karen's like, does he? No,
upside
that's a
down.
good question. I don't know. I always look like he's awake.
So
me.
what's the definition of terrorism? So we move
Well,
on to the other thing.
Specifically, the definition of terrorism is an act of violence intended to push forward a political or religious ideology with the intent of scaring mass people or the general public, basically. So if I want to shoot 5 people just because I don't like those 5 people, that's just 5 counts of murder. If I say I don't like 5 Americans and I want to scare the other 300 million Americans, I'll shoot those 5 Americans while screaming certain phrases in a different religious language because I want my point of killing those 5 is to scare those 300 million. I don't think in this case there's any evidence that this was anything other than your standard
And
misguided,
the reason why
crazy,
it's horrible,
evil, mentally health
right, is
teenage
because
kid that shot his fellow students.
they can start tacking this on everything if they
Right.
let this fly, right?
And that's my fear. It's like terrorism should be a very specific thing
Reserved for the worst
for the
of the
worst
worst.
of the worst.
Right.
Exactly. When you start just throwing the term terrorism, kind of like people just throw around the term racist now, it just becomes white
Racist
noise.
means I don't agree with you.
Right.
Right.
So terrorism now means, anybody who commits a crime with a gun. Or, well, look at this. Right next door, I think Wisconsin is next door
Use
to
a car,
Michigan.
yeah.
The guy drove purposefully into a bunch of, I guess, white people at a parade.
Yep.
Not one person has said that's terrorism.
And they let him out on $1,000 bail.
Yeah.
Bond, right?
Right.
That was his
day of
preview.
before then,
Yeah. But yeah, so
Oh, that was the day before.
Well, if that-
I thought
if-
they let him out again.
No.
no, that
$5
was the
million.
first.
That's why he was out that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's in now on a $7 million bond or whatever. He's not going to get
Okay.
out. Well, and if either of those 2 cases is terrorism, it would be that one because it
Right.
appears, based on his social media history or whatever, there was a radical racist mentality there, and he was doing it because he wanted to specifically kill white people and scare white people. So if
Right.
any of them are terrorists, it's that one. But your biggest issue, you're right. The problem is because it's a firearm. Because what they're wanting to do, since it's Michigan,
Yep.
is basically start labeling any sort of mass shooting or multiple shootings or whatever with a firearm as terrorism. If that's the case, then every weekend in Chicago, there's like 1 million terrorists running around the fucking street.
Do you know how bad it
The
actually
streets
is
because
in
of
Chicago?
Chicago. No,
You know
I
how
would
bad-
go to Chicago.
It is ridiculously.
Well, of course.
Like my friend said, hey, this is my neighbor's camera, doorbell camera, or whatever. Right? Yeah, whatever it is. Right? And it's 2 cars going down the street shooting at each other.
Yeah.
Like 2 cars, like bang, 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 bang. They fired 40 shots at each other.
Yeah.
One guy got hit with shrapnel in the leg. But anyways, like that's how bad people shoot.
And you could part of those would fall into terrorism because I think a lot of the times they do that to scare people in the neighborhood. We run the neighborhood. This is our turf, whatever. So a lot of it is sending a message. So you have the second part of that, but there's no political or religious agenda to that. That's
Right.
about turf and gang wars and
Money.
drugs and everything
It's money.
else.
Yeah.
So that's not terrorism either. But that's what they want to do. They want to label gun crimes as terrorism because then that opens up a whole world of things you can do. It's like parents complaining about critical race theory are all of a sudden domestic terrorists because once you slap that label on something, it opens up a lot of parts
How
of the
can
law
they
that can be
actually
used
do
against
that?
them.
How can they tag them with domestic terrorists?
Well, they said that they wanted them investigated to see if it was domestic terrorism. That's how kind of they did that.
That's how they spun it.
Right. And what they said, I don't know how. Again, it's kind of like they're just.
You can call anybody whatever you want.
Exactly. You can call people whatever you want, and then the minute you say terrorism or racism, the feds get involved. And
That's
so
part of the biggest reason they slap that label on it, for
Yep,
sure.
they want the feds involved.
To stop parents from being upset?
Right, because the feds can't get involved in local angry parents. They generally can't get involved in local shootings either unless there's some sort of a civil
Why
rights thing.
should
But
they?
if you can
Right.
tie it as terrorism, it brings in
Yeah.
the federal
You
government.
can bring in the Fed. Well, what they said is that some parents were targeting specific school members at their homes, places of business, things like social media. They were specific to them.
I didn't need that anyway. But that's still not terrorism because it's
No.
to that one
Harassment.
person. Right, you can
Right.
harassment, burglary, whatever you want to call it.
It's
but
not.
it's not
terrorism. But again, too, the thing in Michigan, my brain says this isn't terrorism because terrorism does have political or religious tones to it. But we don't know how Michigan defines terrorism.
That's true too. Right.
In their state laws, they could have terrorism defined a specific way that doesn't include religion or politics.
It
Wouldn't surprise
still
me.
doesn't make it terrorism.
Right.
Because
No, not in the terrorism
Right,
that
under the
we
state
know.
statute, they
Right.
but
call
while
it whatever
we're on
definition they want.
the topic of talking about things, so we had the 3 guys that chased a black dude through the neighborhood and killed him.
Yeah, that was the Arbery murder trial
Right.
from last week. Yeah,
And they've been charged with 7 different counts.
it's I believe it's 6 or 7 accounts per person. Yes.
And what did you say they were? What's one of them? Murder.
Well, there's felony murder charges in there. Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
murder,
There's
and
felony
felony
murder. There
murder.
was murder during
All right,
aggravated
wait,
assault or
stop.
whatever.
Stop.
Here we go.
Collaborate and listen.
So, felony murder. What is the difference between that and misdemeanor murder?
Well, there's no such thing as a misdemeanor murder.
Well, what's the difference between murder and felony murder? Aren't all murders felonies?
Yes, but not all felonies are murders.
That's not what I
Like
said.
all dogs
That's
are
not what I
poodles.
said. Who's on
Like all
first?
poodles are dogs, but not all dogs are poodles.
Yeah, but they're not saying. They're saying it's murder.
You don't know what felony murder is?
It's a felony.
She's not a criminal attorney, and she can explain it to you. Go ahead.
Felony murder is a murder committed during the while you're committing another felony.
Another
It's
felony?
Not murder.
So it's double felony.
Yes, it's a double felony.
Because
No,
isn't
it's only
commit-
felony.
wait a minute.
No, it's only
Wait a
felony
minute.
murder.
Wait a minute.
Because you don't. No.
Right?
No, because then
If
you're
you're
also
murdering
charged with the other
somebody-
crime.
Do you want the answer, or do you just want to jibber jabber?
No, because you don't answer the question.
She
It's
just
like
answered
asking
it
about
for you.
canon law. Go get the canon. We got canon, just so you can start learning canon law.
Boom.
Now,
No. 'Cause
When
you're
you're- if you're-
misunderstanding felony. Oh my God.
if you were committing a murder, are you not committing a felony?
If you were robbing a
But it's
bank,
felony murder.
you're committing a felony. If you
So
kill
murdering somebody
But
isn't
no,
committing a
it's
felony.
not. It's not you. You want me to give you an example?
I'm listening.
All right.
Give me
Cynthia and I go to rob a bank.
Yeah,
We walk into the bank. We got guns. We're pointing them at everybody.
yeah.
While we're at the bank, Cynthia says, "I don't like the teller," and shoots and murders the teller. I haven't shot and murdered anybody,
Yeah.
but we were committing the felony of robbing the bank when she murdered that person. So she gets charged with murdering that person. I get charged with felony murder because that person was murdered during the commission of the felony. I don't have to shoot or kill anybody, but I can get the same sentence as her because the
let me
murder
ask you
occurred
this.
during the felony.
Let me ask you this. If you're out trespassing, right,
That's a misdemeanor.
and she murders somebody,
She gets a murder, I
is
get a
that-
misdemeanor.
You get misdemeanor murder?
I don't get anything. I get a misdemeanor trespass. She gets a simple murder
Why don't you get a misdemeanor murder?
because it's not a felony. There's no such thing as misdemeanor murder. Felony murder.
So it's okay if your friend
I'll give you
kills
one better.
people as
No.
long as you're not doing a felony.
Correct.
yeah.
It's not okay.
So that's okay.
Your friend still goes to prison. I don't go to prison.
No. It's just a misdemeanor. He's all right.
I'll give you one better.
Give it to me.
Let's say we're in the bank.
Yeah.
She wants to shoot that guy. She shoots at him and misses. Security guard shoots and kills her. I get charged with felony murder because my
I got killed.
co-conspirator died during the robbery.
You need to get a new partner.
Well, you should. This actually happens a lot in criminal cases where a
Because you
group
ain't
of
done
people,
nothing, and you've been charged twice
a group of
with
people
felony murder and
go
once with misdemeanor
into a
murder.
place with a plan to simply rob it, and somebody goes rogue and murders somebody, and now everybody in
That's
there gets
Julie.
murder.
Don't get
and
her
you
on
can go
your
into
team.
court and be like,
She
we
goes
never
rogue all
discussed
the
the
time."
murder. She went rogue. Doesn't matter.
And what happens if you point a gun at somebody and they die of a heart attack instead of your bullet?
Felon, that's misdemeanor
That's
murder.
right. You'd have to really prove causation on that.
That's misdemeanor murder.
You could.
Maybe it's terrorism.
still-
You're okay. You're
I
still
think it's
okay.
terrorism.
You're
I think
still
it's
okay.
terrorism.
That's like
He's getting
that's like
terrorized.
law school exam.
He's
questions.
getting terrorized because
Like,
he's getting felony murder.
The answer is it depends. Right.
It depends.
You really have to show causation. If the guy had prior heart problem, I mean, that'd
Depends
be
is probably what he should have been wearing. He probably crapped himself when he pointed the gun out.
So it's not a difficult concept to figure out.
We have a
felony
couple
murder,
comments.
murder during a felony. So these guys, 3 of them surrounded the guy and he
Yeah.
got shot. But they didn't all 3 shoot the guy. One person basically shot the guy, but everybody got charged with felony murder. Correct.
What was the felony?
False imprisonment.
Okay.
Because they thought,
Okay.
they claimed they were stopping him to do a citizen's arrest.
Yep.
The prosecutor was able to prove that they didn't have the authority to do that, so what they were doing was basically kidnapping, for lack of a better term. And so he died during the course of a kidnapping. That's felony murder. But apparently in that state, like in here, you would just get the felony murder. But in that state, apparently they give you felony murder, then they can give you murder during an assault, then they can give you murder with a co-conspirator. Like they can, for one dead body, they can stack up different ways to murder the person. It's weird. It was really weird.
It
I
was
was
a
watching
very-
the verdict. I'm like, wait, there's only
they
one
were
body,
wrong.
right? I don't understand.
They were wrong.
Oh, that
From what I understand.
Look,
I don't know.
I'm
I
okay
haven't
with the
read
verdict in
anything
that
on it.
case. From what I didn't watch it as closely as Rittenhouse, but I've done my research into it. I think that was probably a good verdict in that case. And those were 3 white guys that killed a black guy, which I thought in America you couldn't convict white guys for killing black guys. So
You would think.
they got it, and then the other guy, Rittenhouse, didn't get it. Maybe the difference isn't the race. Maybe the difference is one guy was running away from the people trying to kill him. The other guys were chasing down the dude that they killed. Maybe that's the difference.
I don't know.
Could be.
Like attacking people and you stop them from attacking you?
Maybe the people who shot the guy in Arbery had guns that just went off by themselves. Perhaps instead of going with self-defense, they should have gone with hair trigger defense. I don't know.
I
Okay,
got the same
question.
gun as
Didn't work.
Alec Baldwin.
Question.
Yeah.
Manslaughter a misdemeanor?
No, manslaughter is a felony. There's no misdemeanor.
Unless
Yeah.
your partner manslaughter somebody
No,
while you're trespassing.
there's no felony manslaughter.
Then it's misdemeanor manslaughter.
No,
You do know you're not a lawyer.
there's no felony
What's
manslaughter.
that?
You do know you're not a lawyer.
I never said I was a lawyer. Like, first of all, if you're hiring me for a lawyer,
Oh.
you're guilty anyway.
Well, and you can even get you can get felony attempted murder. So let's say she shoots the person, but they don't die. You can get felony attempted murder, even though you didn't pull the gun. So I've had cases where like a couple of drug dealers went to go meet a guy to just do a standard drug deal, and as lots of drug deals do, they go bad. This guy pulls out a gun, tries to rob them, they pull out a gun, and somebody ends up getting shot. The guy who drove there thinking, I'm going to get $20 while these guys do a drug deal in the back seat, gets attacked with a felony murder and is looking at life in prison for something that he didn't even know anybody had a gun. Like, that's how fast stuff can go south. So again, make sure you know who your co-felony people are, and they're not going to go rogue and just murder somebody.
I'm telling you, don't do crime with Julie. She goes rogue.
And that happens a lot in home invasions.
You'll get your misdemeanor murder charge on you.
Hey, Spradley says, can we get a petition to get Jeff to grow his beard back? And then we've got
No, he doesn't.
Sean Hilton says he'll sign the petition.
Here, send it to my house.
You can use one of the cases to keep it in that John's won that is stacking up at my house or whatever.
Take it.
Hey, your mama's watching.
Gracie!
Hi, Bobby.
Your mama's watching.
Gracie's coming down
I know.
for Christmas, so I'll have to
Can't
have her
wait
on
to
the
see
show.
her. Can't wait
So,
to see her.
what's
that?
the legitimate question that we got?
Oh, okay, hang
What's
on.
happening?
No, this was a gift.
This
That's
one,
right. That was a Christmas T-shirt from 2 years ago.
It was. This one comes from Mike Hendrickson.
Yeah,
He
wait, we
says-
actually have a real legal question.
A real question. Okay. He says, my son is 18, turns 18 this month. I know he can own and possess a rifle. Can I gift him a pistol? And is he allowed to possess it? I know he has to be 21 to purchase, but can he own at 18?
Yes.
All right,
That was
next
easy.
question.
Next.
No. Yes.
He just can't.
That's why we
carry-
get the big bucks.
He just can't carry concealed, right, till he's 21.
Well, yeah, you can't get a concealed carry permit until
Right.
you're 21.
Okay.
So yeah, in Florida, when they changed the law because of Stoneman Douglas or whatever, you got to be 21 to buy anything. But parents can gift their kids guns like the day they're born. They can buy them a gun and say, "Here's your gun the day that you're born."
Yep.
And they can possess it between 16 and under. They can only possess it under certain statutory restrictions. But if they're 18 or 17 or 18 or 19, I mean, and 20, yeah, they can possess it. They can't get a concealed carry permit, but they can possess it. Like they can certainly own it, and you can gift it to them. Now, if your kid comes to you and says, "Dad, I really want to buy a gun, but I'm not old enough. Here's $500 I earned at the movie theater last week. Go buy me a gun and give it to me when I turn 21." That you can't do because now he's not buying it for himself and gifting it to somebody. He's buying it for a prohibited person, which would be your typical straw purchase. You can't do that.
Yeah, but where is the crime if the kid does not receive the gun until he's 21?
The crime is when the guy does the 4473 and says, I'm purchasing this
myself.
firearm for myself, and he's not. This is what happened. So this is the Kyle Rittenhouse case. This is the problem they have in that case, because both him and his buddy testified that the buddy bought the AR-15 for Kyle. Kyle wasn't old enough to buy it.
Yep.
He gave his money. He gave the money to his buddy
Yep.
to buy it for him. The buddy says he wasn't going to give it to him until he turned 18 or 21 or whatever and could
Well, it was
lawfully
legal to have it.
could lawfully possess it. But the problem is they both admitted that Kyle couldn't have it, so he gave money to his friend who went and signed the form and was going to use Kyle's money to buy it and was holding it for Kyle until he turned legal age.
Yeah, but
that, I think, is a problem for those two guys.
Who owns the gun? Who owns
It's
the
not
gun?
about owning. It's about when
The
you
intent
fill out the
when you-
form,
when you buy
is the
it.
intent that the person fills out the form is the true owner going to be the true owner of that firearm, or are they buying it on behalf of somebody who can't buy it?
Yeah, but-
Regardless of whether they give them the gun. Let's say a convicted felon comes in and says, here's $1,000, go buy a gun, while I have my expungement petition waiting up at the governor's office.
Yeah.
He buys the gun, holds on to him. In 3 years, his petition goes through and gives him a gun. It doesn't matter. When he filled out the form,
All right.
He was
that's
prohibited.
technically a straw purchase. Kyle's buddy is actually currently charged with the straw purchase because he's the one who lied on the form. Now, Kyle could get charged with conspiracy or whatever to do it as well. The prosecutor in Wisconsin is not going to do it because I think he's burned enough. I could possibly see the Department of Justice stepping in and wanting to make an example out of him, but they're probably just going to let that whole case lie as well. But his buddy is still looking at 15 years in prison because he basically admitted on the stand that he did it, and he said he knew. Both of them said when they were doing it, they knew it was wrong and they couldn't do it, but they did it anyway. They said that on the road. So he was willing to put his ass on the line to help Kyle get off from the murder charges. So now the only one that might go to prison is the guy who bought the AR-15 with Kyle's money.
Now, you can buy a gun as a gift.
Yeah.
Like, Tim can go and buy a gun for me.
Sure.
And that is not illegal. The intent is to give it as a gift to me,
Right.
and I am not a prohibited person.
Right.
And he didn't use my money. Like, I didn't tell him, Tim, go to the store and get me a gun and blah, blah, blah. So that is still legal. You can do that. But there was a big case, it was in Texas years ago, where that cop's father gave the cop the gun, that gave the cop the money for the gun because the cop could get the better deal. I think it was the Glock,
Right.
the blue, whatever it is with the Glocks. So he gave his son the money to buy him a gun. The son, he was not a prohibited person.
Right.
The son bought the gun, gave it to his dad, straw purchase. Then went to the Supreme Court. So
And they said it was a straw purchase.
And they said it was a straw purchase,
Because
even
when
though he wasn't prohibited.
Because when you sign the form, you're
Yep.
signing it and saying, I'm buying this gun for myself. Now, this is where the gift issue comes in, because
Yep.
what you're doing is you're buying it for yourself
Yep.
with the intent to give it to somebody for Christmas. That's why it's legal, because when you sign the form, you're getting it for yourself, and it's your own money
Right.
or family money if it's for your wife or whatever, so that's not where the problem comes in. But you can't buy a gun for somebody else with their money and put on the form that it's for me if you know it's not for you. Usually it's more about a prohibited person. If somebody's not a prohibited person, most prosecutors, most people wouldn't be a jerk about it. I'm surprised, especially
Yeah.
being a cop, that they even cared about that
Right.
case. But that happens. Like a lot of the stores, for example, because there was Black Friday deals and stuff, somebody posted a question on Facebook that said, well, I want to buy the gun, but I'm going to use my brother's credit card.
Yep.
But the shop says, well, because the name on the credit card isn't the same as your
Yeah, yeah.
name, I'm not selling it to you. And the guy was like, well, what the hell? It's just, I didn't have my card with me, and it was Black Friday. I didn't want to miss it, so I borrowed his card. Technically, that's not going to be a straw purchase, because if he's really buying it for the intent to keep it for himself, that would be legal. But gun shops are just like two different names. I'm not doing it.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it's
but
such a
it's-
gray area that scares everybody. Misunderstands what it means, and it scares everybody.
But it's like this. If I wanted to buy you a gun for Christmas, right? And I went to a gun shop, I could buy the gun and have you do the paperwork. And that's not a straw purchase.
Right, because I'm signing the form that I'm going to be the owner of the gun. Correct.
So what is the difference between?
There is no difference. It's just
Intent.
I think it's legal for that guy to use his brother's credit card because when he's filling out the form, it's for him.
Like,
Just
if I owe you
shops
money,
are so scared of the concept of a straw purchase and the ATF that it's just a red flag that I won't. And a lot of shops were doing that. I understand your problem, but if it was my shop, I wouldn't do it. I've had a shop for years, I won't do it.
And
if
they
the
have
receipt
the
doesn't
right
match
to
the
do
form,
that.
I'm not going to do
Yeah.
it. So
They have the
I don't
right.
think there was anything illegal about that, but it's just it scares too many shops.
Another question, Mark Carlton. Do you need a bill of sale to buy a weapon in Florida?
Bill of sale, no.
No. Private
should.
purchases, right.
You should have
should
one.
do one to make sure you've got the right information, et cetera, but there's literally no requirements for private sales in Florida. You don't even have to ask if they're a convicted felon. It's smart if you want to, but there's really no onus on you. You just sell it and hope that they don't use it in a murder. 3 people down the road, and then the ATF knocks on your door and says, "Who'd you sell that gun to?" I don't know, some guy I saw on Facebook.
So what would you suggest? Get a picture
bill
of
of
the
sale.
driver's license, bill of sale, all that
there's
other stuff.
actually a form if you go to,
Correct.
what is it, FDLE.gov, or if you just type in
Just type in
Florida.
firearm bill of sale,
sale,
Florida or whatever.
Florida,
it's a generic
and it
form that
comes
comes
up.
up.
That's what
yeah.
that's what the last
There's a
time
spot
I
on the
did somebody.
top for the person. It's like buying a car. There's a spot on the top for the person. You fill out their information, whatever.
Serial number, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just smart, but it's not required.
All right, so let's give the case away and pick 3 numbers.
All right.
All right, so you got the pen, right?
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to pick one for the case and throw it at Mike.
I don't have enough hands.
Let's get into it.
Oh, did you see that? That thing just threw itself right across your
Threw
face.
itself.
I was just holding it in my hand, and boom, off it went.
Holy crap.
Holy crap.
But
Wow.
you didn't say, I'm going to throw this at you and have it go behind the wall. I'm just waiting for something to come on.
Yeah, you're going to bump the TV,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's going to
put that
crash.
back.
19.
19.
1-9.
For the
19.
case.
1-9 for the case. Nope. You're going to put
No,
this
you
one
got
back
we
on.
have to
Yep.
put that one back in.
Because they get a chance for this.
You're getting goalie mode. 13. Wow, you
Good deal.
friends over
Trying to
there.
make it easy.
That's the first one for the backpack. For a chance to win the backpack.
I think 13 was me.
Could be. $46. 4-6.
Is that it?
One more.
One more.
Jeez,
Oh,
how many
one
things you
more.
giving away?
I thought you said
We give
3.
3 chances.
Oh,
to
chance to win the bag. That's right. Did you
If
tell
you're
him?
number 3, we're not going to count
Did you tell him what's going in the bag? Are you supposed to do that?
We didn't put anything in it.
Oh, okay.
The thing was from a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
I just
okay.
want to make sure it was in there.
That must have been when I tuned in, liked, comment, shared, and then tuned out.
Probably. 18, 1-8. So wow, we got low numbers and then
Good
1 in the
deal.
40s.
Good deal. All right.
Oh, crap, I feel like Brady. I threw it right in your hand.
I know, and I dropped it. God, it's-
Like, I love, everybody knows that I love Brady, but I can't handle when he hits a guy in the chest and the ball pops up and the guy picks it off and like, Brady throws another interception. Oh, he's having a horrible night. Like, yes, he throws interception.
Right.
But when they hit their hands and go into the other team's arms, I have a hard time with that being an interception.
They shouldn't count those interceptions.
I know.
Just like Hail Marys at the end of the half should not count as an interception if the other guy catches the ball. 'Cause
Right.
It's like, ooh, you're not even trying.
Right.
Yeah, that's just stats.
I'm
Especially
throw it
if you're on
up.
fan-
Whoever gets it. That's the play.
Right, yeah. That should not count.
Right.
But if they catch a touchdown, I guess they count it. So you
Yeah,
have to go
so-
with the bad, I guess. I
yeah.
don't know. It is what it is. Come up.
What you got? Oh, we got a bag.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
This is our Christmas episode.
Here it is.
You think that shirt is great?
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Yes.
No.
Perfect.
Ready?
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very, very much.
That's awesome.
Where'd you guys get this one? We need to make these front side press shirts. That, I'm gonna have to call.
Call
One of my
JB.
friends to stop making shirts. That, it went off by itself. I didn't really shoot her.
That would be.
It went off
It
by
went off by
itself.
itself would be a great thing. A picture of Alec Baldwin with a. It went off by itself. I didn't pull the trigger.
I didn't pull a trigger.
Can we
Why
use
is everybody
this
clicking on me?
likeness? Can we use
He's
Probably
a
this?
public
not.
figure. I don't know why you couldn't.
Oh, no.
I mean, Trump's face is on that.
Yeah, but Trump would like that.
Probably.
What are you talking about? He made it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You got names. Here we go.
All right. Yep.
Number 19. You guys are the best.
We tried to find the perfect gift for you.
Louis Soto winning the case.
Good deal.
Nice.
You have to drop that off because we're all to be driving around. till I
He's
see the
not.
date. Yep.
Okay, got it.
All right, now 3 chances. 3 chances.
Are you kidding me?
No way.
You hear
It's
it?
like 5
Yes.
times.
Yes.
Not one of them. 2 of them are Sean.
Gee.
So the answer to your question is yeah, twice.
Okay, who's the
First
other
one
one?
on. Did I win yet? Probably. I don't even know why we
Yeah,
bother.
it's like-
You should automatically give him something.
that makes like 7 times in there.
Hey, you do the work.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You gotta-
know,
You
I
put
half,
the
know.
time in.
half a winner
Yeah.
is showing up.
Got a great chance to win.
Like, comment, share, and then leave.
Yeah. Who's our last one?
Jordan Spradley. That's what I thought you heard.
So 2 Seans and 1 Jordan.
Yeah.
I didn't
Got
get nothing
it.
again.
Holy crap.
Skunked again.
You need to call him.
I haven't won nothing in like 2 months.
He's got a system. That's what it is.
He sits here, dunk, 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 all day long.
That's it. Pays
Well, there are
off.
only like the 8 people watching or commenting, I guess. I'm pretty
Ooh.
disappointed.
Spradley, Spradley, what are you booing for? You won. Yay. Oh, there it is.
I don't think he realized that he won.
Oh, he does now.
Well, now.
He's just always upset at me.
The secret is, like Shark Tank says, is to like and comment and share.
I did
There you
that.
go.
I did that like 4 times.
Obviously not
4
in the right
times,
order.
probably like 100 times a day for those guys.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it had to be during the show.
You could do last week's show because those count too. So this week will also count for next week. So she takes them from both.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yep. Because what it is if people aren't watching the show, they don't get a chance. So we made it so that last week's shares and this week's shares are one big thing.
There you go.
And she picks how she wants to go through the numbers. So it mixes it up. So you can't get a system like Sean Hilton.
Yeah, he somehow cheated the system.
He's not cheating the system.
Knowing the system.
He's not cheating the system. He's just smarter than the friggin' system.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he knows how to work it.
He is the system.
Yeah.
Seems to be.
You can put everybody's name down once on a wheel and spin it. No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do for the backpack. Like
Yeah.
how we're gonna do it.
Yeah. Bunch of names in a hat.
You can't get one of those
Good
ping
night.
pong,
Names.
rent one of those ping pong ball things or something, and wow, that could come.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, but it's more fun to do it that way.
I have one of those cages.
There you go.
Do you really?
A bingo cage, yeah.
Sign every
How
name,
big is it?
a number, dump
Oh,
it in
it's
there,
not
and
big. It's
roll
only-
some bingo cages, man.
Bet you 5
And the balls, how many balls are in it?
Probably 40 or 50, I don't know. Whatever bingo has.
Well, yeah, good point.
You got letters too, or just
Yeah, B6.
No.
No, it's just a number, right? Number. Well, no, we'll say like
Letters-
Oh, yeah,
B12.
letters and
one
numbers, yeah.
one has letters
Letters
and one has numbers.
Yeah.
No.
No,
No?
each
No, they're
bag
all on
has
the
a
same
number
thing.
and a letter.
Because you can't
Okay.
have like G12
Oh, right.
because
Yeah.
G is like 40 through 48.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. All right.
I'm just trying to think outside the box.
You're doing a fine job.
Somebody's got to around here.
I don't see how you can't get your mind around
Yet you still.
misdemeanor murder.
You can't get your mind around it. That's the problem.
I got my mind around it.
I got my
understand
mind around it.
I didn't even go to law school. I don't see what your
matter.
problem is. You got a problem with canon law and misdemeanor murder.
Oh, maybe the drawings are rigged. Laugh out loud. The Russians are involved.
Yeah.
Putin.
That's our Coastie.
All right. So once again, I'd like to thank the live studio audience for coming down and hanging out. Always great having you guys here. It's where you people should be. You people should be here. And you should be here next
week.
Thursday night because we're having a what?
A keg
Keg!
party.
Sounds like
Keg party.
Christmas tokens.
Christmas.
You gonna come as Santa or what's the deal?
Gonna come in a sheet.
I'll come as like an elf or something, because if I don't, that's all I'm going to hear all night long from Blake McCain.
You're
I like you're an elf.
Short enough to be an elf.
You can't help you're an ogre. What do you want from me?
You have the beard.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I get a message back.
From
All right, before we go.
Blakely, yeah. Notify the kids.
I
to-
don't live in here. They don't live around here anymore. So
Where are
they
they?
moved.
I don't know.
I thought they were closer to you.
They moved because
Okay.
he had to go up to the Panhandle
Oh.
to go
okay.
to school, I think, is what is up there. All right, so no Russian kids.
No Russian kids.
All right, so we got to call Blakely Kane.
Yeah, love him.
You might.
All right, so we'll
He's
call
probably
him right
playing
after the
somewhere.
show.
And bring
All
the
right.
drummer.
Bring Dustin.
Bring Dustin. I like Dustin.
Did you meet my nephew yet? Did you meet Brandon yet?
I think so.
He's
Sure.
been coming down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took him out, and they got there, and he's just like he's just getting used to what we're like, even though we went to Georgia and everything like that. So we're sitting there, and he's like, I'm watching the band, he's sitting there watching the band, he's looking at me, right? And I pick up my phone, and I go like this, and he's looking at me, and then Dustin's drumming. He's like, hey, Mike. I'm like, play Strippers and Jack. He goes, you want to play Strippers and Jack? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay, I'll tell him. I'm like, thanks. He looks at me and goes, did you just call the drummer? I'm like, yeah. He goes, in the middle of a song. I'm like, yeah. He goes, and he answered the phone. I'm like, he saw it was me. He goes, I don't really understand everything that happened.
He needs to come down more often.
Yeah, he's coming down.
I don't know. We kept hollering out Skinner and they wouldn't play it.
I don't know what's up with that.
They wouldn't play it. Everybody kept hollering out. We're like, play some Skinner. Free bird. They were like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't have a dollar bill that I put in there.
You guys were gone early.
Well, because I had a freaking 10-year-old with me.
Aw. You
You had
looked
to drive him
awesome.
home?
You looked
Yeah.
awesome.
We had a good time,
Beautiful.
but she had to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a test in
Yes.
Ooh.
you know.
Can't be out drinking all night when you got a test, right? You
No,
call
it
it
was-
early.
That was a Friday, I thought.
No.
Are you sure? Yes, it was.
It was a Friday, yeah.
It was the night after we did our last show, so it was a Friday. You didn't have anywhere to go. It was just late.
He's a good parent.
And your balloon popped. I
All right, wrap it up, wrap it up.
all of these guys said they were going
Next
to go and they
week,
didn't show up.
Christmas,
I was here.
here,
Yeah, it was you guys.
Mars
But
Vision
for you, that
Productions,
was it.
Kega, be here, be here. All right, we're cranking up, and I don't know, 7 o'clock, you guys can start coming down and cranking.
Oh, early.
Mark's like, what? Did he say 7?
The kid's not coming till 9.
All right, we're going to start advertising. Everybody else advertising, start bringing friends. All right.
What was that?
That was either a sound effect or something under the
Yeah.
Okay, all those chickens.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah.
Let's
Happy-
go,
happy all
play
the
music,
stuff.
take us out. Kega!
See you the first Tuesday in 2022.